Hi everyone, Empress Addi here. Hope everyone's doing great. I'm just jumping in here really quickly because I do have a lot of work to do, but I needed to address something. Yesterday, I posted a video on foundational Black Americans boycotting Africans, and I wanted to give just a little bit of context. And what I did was I do a little fact checking as well, naturally. So let's begin with the fact checking and how this all began. It began with the Essence Festival feud. Okay. So the current tensions kicked off when Caroline or Carolyn Wanga, a Kenyan citizen, became president and CEO of Essence Ventures. And this year's programming leaned heavily into Pan-Africanism, leaving many longtime attendees, foundational Black Americans, feeling sidelined. All right. Now, the xenophobic back and forth. On social media, you'll find clips of African born creators dismissing FBA culture as shallow, non existent, or even labeling FBA as lazy and beggars. Now, Ebony documents the loudest voices spewing xenophobia and accusing FBA of lacking depth or tradition. The medical field boycotts of FBA patients that have been claimed anecdotally in fringe videos, but we find no credible mainstream reporting on that. No hospital policies, no professional association statements supporting a coordinated call for African trained doctors to refuse FBA patients. That's just false. Okay. This appears to be a rumor that is really being amplified online, but it has no weight. Okay. So fact check there. And here's why this whole thing matters. The mutual othering only deepens the division, and we're experiencing it right now already. Ferde Darbo calls the African American or African American rift a simmering hostility and misunderstanding rooted in stereotype and unhealed grief. So this was published in Ebony. Healing begins with truth telling. Neither side owns Blackness. We all inherit trauma. We all inherit trauma and resilience from the same global struggle. So, what is the problem here? So, I'm I wish I could just bring both sides together. So, my brothers and sisters born on the continent of Africa, you've rightly asked why we foundational Black Americans, or I don't even know if I should call myself a foundational Black American. I am Haitian. And even though we have indigenous roots as well, we also understand the struggle and the slave narrative history that is still also part of our DNA. You've rightly asked why FBAs felt pushed aside at the Essence Fest. Now, hear this. You've turned around and you've told us that we're lazy, we're beggars, we're cultureless. I ask you to ask yourself, when was the last time you traced your lineage to the freedmen who built this nation? And do you know the music, the foodways, the spoken word traditions we fought to preserve all through Jim Crow? What solutions have you offered for the very wealth gaps and health disparities you accuse us of accepting? Now, if you stand against FBAs, you stand against 43 million descendants of enslaved whose labor fueled America's rise and whose culture shaped the world, whose work is the reason why you're even able to come here. So here's the real challenge. We need your solidarity, not your judgment. Invite us to the table. Don't lecture us from the margins. Name one community health initiative you've launched in a predominantly Black American neighborhood. And then let's partner on the next one. Stop erasing our roots. It's just as lazy as refusing to look at your own. Now we're all in this together. Divide and conquer tactics only weaken us. If you want to unify, or if you want unity, start by listening, then show up. Shoulder to shoulder. Let's do the work. Listen, listen. So, no more one sided scolding. We rise and we fall as one global family of Black people. Now, we have some shared history, and our branch or our road has split. Okay. However, it doesn't mean we don't come from the same root. It doesn't mean we don't come from the same stock. All right. And so I know that this was not just a festival feud, all right, about the Essence Festival. It's been brewing. So I'd like to call out the exact charges that you've lobbied or put on the FBA, and I demand the same accountability that you've put on them. I'm putting it on you as well. All right. So let's build a solution together. So if you want to neutralize rumors, if you want to neutralize these rumors, because that's all they are, start by listening. And I want to go back to spotlighting how there is no evidence around medical field boycotts, not one. Okay. And if you don't have a do no harm attitude in the medical and even childcare or assisted living field, you should not be there, period. And that's for all people. You should be caring and living with and in service of all people. So I don't think it's an either or. I think it's a both and. All right. And that's exactly what our forefathers and foremothers championed. And that's what I want to champion this morning. Have a great day. I'm Empress Addi. Follow, like, subscribe, share the Empress Addi podcast. Peace. Mwah. Hmm.